Good morning and welcome to the early bird. And here we're looking at the DAX and the European Central Bank and the Feds and the Bank of England and Japan and Switzerland basically put some liquidity back into the markets for a short-term fix, which has been noted as a bit of a band-aid. In that situation, we can see here from the DAX here. This is a daily chart. The market has pushed up, but the efforts that they made last night, well, it hasn't really extended past the previous day's length in trade here. So we can see that, yes, it was positive, but the shorter trading range makes it this bounce that we were looking at here on the DAX here is starting to see weakness here as it comes into supply levels through here. So we'll keep an eye on that. And as we're looking at the Dow Jones as well, we're seeing the Dow Jones coming into the 11,500 mark through here. We from the August 9 lows here, we're still looking at this as this pattern as a wave 4 here. It's definitely a corrective pattern because of the three wave structures that dominate the pattern through here. And once it is complete, we'll see further downside to this. The question is what type of pattern do we have here? This pattern can be seen as a triangle pattern, as I've sort of drawn out through here, but it can also be what they call a flat pattern as well. There were three patterns, but once this high here takes this high out here, then it'll take away that third pattern that we had, which was basically down for one and back for two, down for one and back for two. So once that gets taken out here, then it becomes the triangle pattern or a larger flat pattern. And I also need to point out too that, well, I think it's interesting as well, this is the Dow on the daily chart here. This particular pattern here at the medium level here, 11,500, is so similar to the 2008 pattern. If you go and have a look at it, you'll see that we've had that three wave structure up, that three wave structure down here, and now we're working to this structure here, and then we'll have that one and that one, and then move further to the downside. We won't be moving down as strong as the 2008 move, but this pattern is so close that it's certainly worth bringing into the analysis and discussion on that there. But we do see that that the markets are testing these highs here, and yeah, we just expect it to play out. So it's sort of difficult to go long unless we really had some solid support sitting on top of this level here as such, so we had that really nice, that sort of retesting there and then move up from there, then we'd be safe at that point. So we're not ready to go yet, even though that the markets are rallying up into these old highs here, and we'll see our local markets rally up as well when we're looking at might as well just flick to our market here, where we've definitely got support on the 4,000 here. That's a said. But once again, we've got this pattern here, which is a corrective pattern, and the 61.8 retracement level is the 4150. This from the 4,000, then we've got minor group 1, which is 100, 200 and 300, and we know that if support finds itself on top of the 300 here, then we can look to the upside. However, like the 72 in a group 2, the being the pivot point, so is the 2 here. So this is the center here. Now, if this became support, then we would have good reason to look at stocks and trade them long, over a weekly sort of trend. Now, we do expect this market to push higher up into this area here, but finding support on here, like the Dow finding support on the 11,500, is a completely another story, and we would need to view that once we're there. So we do consider this a rally through here. It's just about where it tops out through here. And one of the one of the sort of target points that I like to use a lot is the Australian dollar, and I'm just going to jump to that in this particular case here. Now, yesterday we were talking about, well, we have been talking about this for quite a few days now, in terms that this particular pattern here is being a wave 3 and then a wave 4 and then down for wave 5. Now, as we mentioned yesterday, the next degree of wave 4, which would be here, normally pulls back to the third, fourth wave of 1 lesser degree, which is here. So we've been expecting this to come up into this sort of area here. So it's going, and this is moving with stock at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see, how this finds this area here. Will it roll over down from here? Yes, it will be sort of part of the currency mix as well, but it is moving with stock. So let's see how this unfolds up to here and what comes in from that point there. So just a couple of things to look out for, and the other markets are pretty much following in this little trend coming up through here. If we take a closer look at that on the S&P 500, yesterday we were talking about this market coming up into the 1220 area here, and that's sort of on its way there. So we sort of expect a top to come into play in this area up here, and then we'll see this come back and retest the 1200 here, and we'll see how it dances around the 1200 either as support or resistance. And yeah, so the SPY is in the same boat. The other market that I just looked at is the cash market, but it takes on the futures market during the night there. That's why it pushed up so high. So I was mucking around with this pattern here yesterday for the Elliot people here. So I was looking at this being an A and a B and a C for the A wave here, then the A, the B, and the C for a B wave here, and we're looking for a 5-wave structure up to the upside here. So we could say that this 4,200, as I mentioned before, is a line in the sand there. It's these are targets that and support and resistance levels that we can look at for short-term highs or medium-term supports, if that's going to be the case, because yeah, we just need to trade what we see, and we can see that there is these tops now support here, but we need to allow this Elliott pattern to play out here. Now the drivers, the gold market through here has moved through the 1800 here, as we thought that there was a possibility for that and to move further down through here. So we will see the this group 2 area here give it short-term support, and we should see it retest the 1800 here. But this pattern is sort of picking up speed to the downside here, as you can see. So we can expect that to come further down through here. The oil market here, we thought that we were looking at one more top coming into play there. The support on the 88 is showing that. This pattern here is a little bit dodgy, but it does seem a bit corrective. So we should see a push up through the 90 here. So we still need that to play out, but of course this is going to follow stock, but obviously it's not following stock at the moment at this level here, so it seems to have found its balance point, but we'll see how that moves up through there to 91 or within group 1 up here. And the copper market here, as we thought, would have a bounce off the 390, and we've got this daily trend line of support coming through here. So this is just the retest of this medium level here, 400. So we'll see how that plays out through here, but there's some more to go here. Support on the 95, we'll see that up to the 98 here and the 400 here. So once again, we'll see that play out, and we should see that roll over through there. If the SPY and the ASX 200 find support on 4,200, and we get support on here as well, a nice solid support on the 400, well then that will add to the positive side for the materials sector. but also with the materials sector as well. I like to look at BHP in the US, and as I mentioned before, this pattern here, this three-wave pattern, is corrective, and the market's moved through here. It's done all the right things. When a price is moving through a level, it'll come down, bounce off it, come back up, move through, come back and retest it, and then continue down after a failed retest there. So this is also going through its process here, and as we mentioned, when it did come down through here, that would be looking for a retest back up through there, and that's on its way at the moment, and we need to allow that to play out as well. Pumping all that money into the system there certainly makes the US dollar a little bit weaker. We knew we had ratio support at 76.50, but no volume support at 76.50, so that was a bit of a concern. So we can see that the volume support will be at 76 and 75. I don't know the short-term fix that they've put into the market. I don't know what that is exactly in terms of liquidity, but this will continue to move to the downside in terms from this little pattern here, at least down for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down to here. Normally we can look at this now as coming, this fourth wave here is coming back to the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree, a bit like the Australian dollar upside down. So we can expect that to come down to 75.30 there. So while that's moving down through here, we're still going to see the euro push to the upside here. This is a daily chart here. The daily robo has been working well for us coming in through here, and the weekly robo as well. The current price here where it is now is the 38.2 retracement level. The 50% is at the 140 here, and that's where the supply is there. So we'd expect that to stop in here in between the 39 and the 40 here, so we'll look for that. Any short-term any short trades from here, we can wait for the next daily robo to come in and give us that short position there. Yeah, so that's about it really. So we're really looking for that the Dow Jones to play out into this 11,500 here, and all those other markets to find short-term highs here. And that may be, that may not come. I thought we may have had it that will come into on our Friday. Thursday had the rally in the US, like we did as well in that sort of cycle. So we'll see the US markets tonight hopefully have a turn into the resistance area here, but that leaves us 1 day sort of short, so that means that we'll be looking for the Monday or the Tuesday for the turn rather than today. So I was hoping that I knew that the US markets would be up tonight, but I was last night, but I was hoping the late session would see a sell-off there in terms of that, but it's not the case. But we still need this to play out, and we also need this whole pattern to play out here. So we're in a tricky situation, and in terms of Elliot, you just don't really get involved in fourth waves in terms of trading, but we're doing our best to navigate through it. We know our support and resistance levels. We've got a reasonable understanding of the patterns. So really, I think the key thing is if we're going to trade here, as mentioned, coming into this fourth wave pattern over here, is that you trade less and smaller position sizes. So that would still be the case there until we've got a very clear understanding of, do we have a triangle here or do we have a flat here, even though that they will basically bring about the same type of result in the end. It's just how they go. But I think that people that are interested in this is to really sort of study this pattern through here and have a look at the 2008 pattern at the same level here at the same time, August, September as well. And you'll see what we have to basically go through over here before we get that 5-wave structure to the downside to the 10,000 there. So we can see that, the different countries have been propping it up individually, and now they're propping it up as a group, but it really hasn't pushed the market that much, so There's not a lot of steam in that, so just be diligent out there and be careful. Alrighty, well, good morning and have a good weekend as well. Cheers.